Hey, Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Exotical Storytime series. So, apparently, there are Exoticals where their unambiguous mothers are watching my YouTube channel. So, first, we had someone submit a storytime saying that their HBCU friends, like unambiguous black men, are watching Exotical channels. And now this person is saying that her mom watched my YouTube channel and then gave her the paper bag test. So, let's get into it. She says, "This might be a long one, but I really need to vent and don't have anyone to talk to. So for starters, I never knew that I came off as racially ambiguous. I have 4C hair, brown skin, and a dark-skinned mother. So growing up, I always thought I looked regular black. However, people would always point out how my eyes looked Asian adjacent, or when I was born, people said I looked like an Asian baby, but I never paid any attention to it. I am half Haitian. Growing up, I never realized I faced a lot of jealousy from the people around me. I thought the reason why people didn't like me was because there was something wrong with me. I thought that I was average or ugly. I have an unambiguous dark-skinned mother who mainly kept to herself, so I practically raised myself growing up. Now that I'm older, I'm realizing how much she was threatened by me and my beauty. Basically, the only way I could become ugly was by being fat. I don't really know how to explain it, but back then I realized anytime I'd start losing weight, she would force me to eat. Like the only time she was an active parent was when I was glowing up. It was like a pattern. I would play outside in order to lose weight or tone up, and then that's when she'd come out of her room and ask me if I had been eating, or that's when she will decide to cook more. I grew up in an obese 300-pound family. So I know as an adult how malicious it actually is to allow your kid to be fat. I always thought my mom was nice, but I realize now that she was just smart enough to act nice. She would even yell at me and tell me I needed to eat, even when I told her I wasn't hungry. I also remember growing up that a lot of the guys that would date or hit on her would look at me and say things like, "You're going to have to worry about boys when she gets older." They would say it unprovoked too. So I could tell that in a way they were looking at me, and I now know that she could tell too. Luckily, most of those relationships never went far for her. However, one of the guys did end up assaulting me in that way. So she was essentially sexually assaulted by her mother's boyfriend. She says, "I remember one time she had told me to get ready and go play outside, and I put on leggings. When I came back in the house, I remember her boyfriend looked at me, and then she looked at me. I remember the look on her face as she looked at my pants. Then she accused me of going outside to play when she apparently told me we were supposed to be going somewhere. However, I know this isn't true. She had also asked me why I had on leggings, but gave me a whooping for the excuse she gave me. Now fast forward, sometimes when we go out, she will tell me that you don't need to get ready or put on makeup because we're going to this place real quick. Then we will come right back." Then she went and put on a full face and got dressed. Luckily, I hadn't listened to her anyway and put on my makeup. I did take note of the way she looked at me when she saw that I too had gotten ready. She always tries to do this thing though where she wants me to hurry up and leave the house when I look a mess. Another time is when another boyfriend she had was in the house, and she told me I couldn't wear shorts because some stepdaughters and fathers end up ... And even though she knows it's wrong to say, that's just how she feels. Her boyfriend would always compare us to and tell her that she needs to work out more, like me. Safe to say, I stopped feeling comfortable doing any type of activity outside my room. She has this weird attachment to me where she wants access to me and wants me to be her scapegoat, parent, emotional punching bag, friend, and therapist, while simultaneously being none of these things to me. In a way, it feels perv-worthy. Sometimes she stares at me for long periods of time with this look of hatred in her eyes. One of our family members noticed and sometimes asked her why she kept looking at me, so I know I'm not going crazy. I remember in one of your videos you pointed out that the reason why your parent might not like other family members is because they look better than them. So I wonder now if all of her woe is me stories are just that. And yes, I did talk about that. Like if you have a mother and your mother doesn't like your auntie, your mother doesn't get along with any of her sisters, she doesn't get along with any of her cousins, there could be a possibility that your mother was a femcel or that your mother was the quote unquote ugly sister, and that's why she doesn't like her sisters. But this girl says, if she acts the way she acts towards me to them, then I too wouldn't want to hang around her that much. I know that her life has been hard, but she also has a negative, ignorant mindset that keeps her stuck around people who aren't good for her. She'd rather be the victim than to cut them off. Then gets mad at me for easily getting rid of people who don't serve me and tries to tell me that we're all just people. I really think she does this because she doesn't want me to notice her bad patterns and cut her off. Even when it comes to the products I want to use, my diet, or anything else, if I say I don't want or like something, she'll try to convince me to choose that thing. Like, she'll come up with a reason or an excuse as to why something isn't working for me. Even though I just told her why from my experience of my body, that too. When it comes to me telling her things, she'll tell me that's not true, then try to come back and tell me what I've told her as if she's teaching it to me, as if she knows my hobbies better than I do. I feel like it's almost like destiny swapping in a way. For example, when I first lost the weight, she asked me if I was anorexic, even though she was bulimic. Like, I could literally hear her hacking up her meals. And I kind of had intuition around it, like a part of me could just feel it. She admitted to it, drunk over the holidays to the family after I had gained the weight back. Even accused me of being a lady of the night because I go for my walks. So it's like, you see me being disciplined with my fitness, but have the audacity to call me these things? The reason why I think it's destiny swapping is because the only reason she started losing weight in the first place is because I started. Even now, I'm close to my goal weight again. Now she's on her fitness journey because of me. But she'll turn around and say things like, steps on scale, I guess not eating today didn't work? To which I replied, what an odd thing to say. Because that too, it's like she wants to place her negative values on me as if I am as slow as her. Which I know is mean to say about your mom, but I'm kind of angry. Like, she'll try to help me through things only she experiences, or she'll give me advice on the stupid stuff only she would do. I guess a better way to explain is she gives me unsolicited advice to try to little girl me essentially. Oh my God, I can't stand when people do that. When they try to treat you like you're a child, they try to treat you like you're their little sister or like they're your mentor. Have you ever had someone try to be an involuntary mentor in your life? Like suddenly they just step into your life, they're the boss over you? But she says she tries to little girl me essentially, even though I never asked or didn't need it. Like literally any and everything I tell her, whether it's about what I'm doing or anything, is met with nonsense, unsolicited advice. Can't have a conversation without her trying to tell me something or her talking at me. She has to be a dictator of all conversations. I also think that she watches your channel because before I even knew who you were, she started telling me that I was an exotical and even tried to do the paper bag test on me. It made me feel uncomfortable, as if she was crossing some unknown boundaries. She also seemed to be happy to have access to someone who she birthed who was an exotical. Again, perv-worthy. I have a few more story times, but I'll stop here for now. I tried to blur out words because some were said in a more harsh manner. However, I feel like there isn't a lot on the covert narc type, so it's hard to find examples of people's mothers who aren't physically abusive and who don't necessarily go out of their way to try and be mean. It's extremely calculating and the best form of manipulation because you'll see it when it's too late. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, but what do you ladies think? Do any of your unambiguous mothers watch exotical channels? Have they called you an exotical? Are they covert narcs like this woman? Do you have family members who have practiced emotional incest with you? Do you have family members who have tried to compete with you or they accused you of trying to steal their boyfriends or husband? Let me know what you think in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.